A lot of content creators were wrong. And I mean, a lot of content creators were wrong. And I'm talking about even websites, okay? Major news websites covering Nintendo news got it wrong. And I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm talking about what President Furukawa said during the fiscal meeting. And well, I put a poll out there to get into that, and I got one response that really hit the nail. Plus, I actually found a legitimate article from Esquire magazine on the Switch 2 that literally backed it up as well. And let's go ahead and talk about it, because I'm pretty sure you guys want to know what everybody got wrong. Let's start the video.
Welcome to the Odyssey. Hit the like, press play. You're running with the squad like Xenoblade. Drive like Mario, we on a...
Okay, so I want to start by sharing with you what I posted in the community section. Stay tuned to that section. I posted a lot of polls and a lot of questions for you guys to answer. So I'm going to go ahead and read it just to kind of start the conversation. So this is what I put. Read the following statement and tell me what you think it means to you. So Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa hasn't considered any new upgraded hardware in financial reports until at least April 2024. Okay, let me go ahead and read that one more time, because some of you might have already gotten it in the comments. Let's go ahead and read it one more time. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa hasn't considered any new upgraded hardware in financial reports until at least April 2024. Okay, now I put this out there because this was a statement that made basically the entire internet get it wrong. A lot of big giant Nintendo news websites got this completely wrong and misinterpreted this very badly. So let's go ahead and read the comments, right? Because, you know, so this is what I said. Nintendo President Furukawa hasn't considered any new or upgraded hardware and financial reports until at least 2024, right? Chris Gonzalez says new hardware April 2024 is what I read. Okay. John Cummins says sounds like it means they're not reporting the sales for the new hardware until April. Ding, 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 ding. That's exactly what he said. He never stated here that there's no new hardware coming until 2024. What he said was that he's not considering any financial reports on new hardware until 2024. So if he is not considering any new hardware until 2024, that means that hardware has to come before in order for him to consider it in April 2024. You know, you guys see where I'm coming from? John Cummins was the one who got it correct. He said it's odd how people don't actually read things clearly. They just see the few keywords they want to latch on and then add to them, fill in the rest in their minds. And this is completely true. A lot of the media does this. They see something and they don't really interpret it how it's actually written. They put things in their mind, they add to it, and then they bring you a completely different message than when it's said. What Furukawa said there is that there's no report on new hardware financially until 2024. There's nothing to report because there's nothing sold. Now, I want to take you over to Esquire magazine, their website. This is, you know, you guys know Esquire. This is a huge reputable magazine. So here I am at Esquire magazine. And we're going to go ahead and says here, is Nintendo lying about Switch 2? On investigation, because they made an investigation. And I love investigative, where you guys know that here. So it says, let's go ahead and read. It looks like Nintendo may be readying for Switch 2 earlier than we think. If the rumor mill is to be believed, while reports are coming in based on the investors' presentation this week that the Switch successor isn't coming until April 2024, there are signs that the interpretation may be incorrect and Nintendo may be lying a little bit, misleading its legion of fans. Some have pointed out. So basically, this is a total misinterpretation of the news for Nintendo, said Reddit user Advanced Feeling. They said they didn't include new hardware in the projections. That doesn't mean they won't release new hardware. See, advanced feeling from Reddit, shout out to you. You also get it. You know, it means that when they were talking about when Nintendo was kind of speaking about how many consoles they were going to sell from here to April 2024, and they said they might not make the 50 million cut, they weren't accounting for new hardware sales. They were talking about the Nintendo Switch. And so when they asked about the Nintendo Switch, and Furukawa said, we're not including the next gen Switch into these numbers from here to 2024 April, then people say, wait a minute, oh, there's no Switch coming out to 2024 April. That's not what he said. He said that in their projection, that projection that he is talking about of Nintendo Switch sales, there are no new hardware added to that specific projection he is talking about. So let's continue reading. Why an all-new Switch 2 may be on the way in 2023. So what's happening over exactly at the House of Mario? Let's investigate. Firstly, here's the Nintendo Shuntaro Furukawa actually said, let's go ahead and read this again. Sustaining the Switch's sales momentum will be difficult in its 7th year. Our goal of selling 15 million units this fiscal year is a bit stretch, but we will do our best to bolster demand going into the holiday season so that we can achieve the goal, said Furukawa. What people are pointing out is that just because they are talking about sales slowing and will try to push more Switch sales towards the end of the year, that doesn't mean that they won't be completing a new system to go alongside the Switch. They just showed a trend of slowing Switch sales and then flat out said their current projections that indicate slow down. Basically, they indicated slow down. Doesn't include new hardware continuing. So basically, in that statement that everybody's putting on their hairlines, no Switch 2 till April 2024, that was never said. All they said was that when they were talking about their projections of how much Switch they were going to sell, they weren't accounting for a next-gen console in those projections, in those numbers, because they can't. There's no Switch out there yet. Once it's out there yet, then in April, they can add those numbers in once they sell. But if anything, this is the closest thing to a Switch successor is imminent announcement you'll get out of Nintendo. So basically, that's what it says here at Esquire. The user continued to note that announcements from Nintendo always come once the current system is slowing down, which is why the Switch Pro or OLED didn't come when the original Switch was still showing no signs of slowing down. That makes perfect sense. It means that when we were expecting a brand new Switch like the Switch OLED, we know we at the time we thought it was the Switch Pro, but we actually got the Switch OLED. Well, at that point in time, the Switch was still selling over 20 million, over 25 million. So there was no slowdowns. At that point, the Switch was number one. The number one selling console was the Nintendo Switch over the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S at that time, right? And that Nintendo normally releases a new console when the current one is slowing down. And by what we see here and what Furukawa said, they don't expect to sell 15 million. They expect to sell less, and that it is actually slowing down the sales, right? And there you have it. I mean, I want to know what you guys think. I like that I found this article because for a while now, you saw the post that I made on the community center there that I just didn't see that. I didn't read that. Everybody was telling us that, oh, no Switch until 2024 April. But that's not what he said. That's not what I read. I just wanted to bring this out to you guys. This is news. This is new. I know a lot of you out there basically are on the 24 train. I mean, I'm half and half. I'm 2023, 2024. It's coming anyway, right? It's coming within the next year, hopefully. And we should expect it soon. And let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And we can continue this conversation down below. That is going to do it for this episode. I am Mike Odyssey. Never forget, number 1, never give up. And number 2, journey on. Peace.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.